talk about it. TJ's Diecast, okay? On this spot out here, I'm gonna say Arlington. I'm in Ashburn, Virginia area. About 45 minutes straight west, like northwest, just go straight at angle from Washington, D.C. Anyways, boy, he has some cars, he has some options. Let me show y'all what I picked up. First, some competition for Hot Wheels, but not a competition, because they don't really make cars no more. I have this bad boy, a Viper, y'all know. You probably don't know. This is by Mini Champs. This is a Viper here, just a good looking car here. Discontinued car. I forgot what year this. I'm about to take it off and find out, but that looks pretty fucking amazing, right? That looks pretty fucking amazing. Alright, let's talk about it. Then, from there, y'all know what I'm on. I've been chasing lately. I gotta get these cars, alright? You know what it is. You know what time it is. Alright, they had the Cadillac in two other colors. I was not interested in the red or the blue one. I don't want the same car over and over again. I'm kind of trying to get away from that. Then I got something for the Hot Wheels competition, of course. Too many GT is stacking up against them because, you know, many GTs be bringing the heat. You can't deny that, okay? I got another one. We're going to go with the Lamborghini that just dropped. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it, okay? The Lamborghini just dropped is looking good. I even tell you what all it has on the back if you read it. Featuring high quality 164 scale model cars, metal body and chassis, detailed underbody chassis, soft rubber side mirrors and rubber tire, detailed wheel design, LH and RHD versions available at most models. There's a left-hand drive and a right-hand drive. I could read that fast, did you? Well, now you know. Now you know. BBR, my dream car that is of terrible quality every time I look at something online. Not familiar with Julia GTA. I'm never going to get it, probably. But it's a lovely vehicle. Maybe when they're down like 5 or 10 grand. And, you know, not worth nothing but the holy moly guacamole grail. Not a grail, but just something that's apparently hard to find by the people. Okay, we're going to go ahead and... can you see it? Can you see it? This is a huge double stacked. I mean, double stacked meaning it has two sets of towers in here. Okay, for cars. Dude told me it holds up to 6. He already had one open. Okay, apparently Mini GT be dropping these sets like this, and they are extremely hard to come by. But my guy TJ's Diecast Toys has on these. He had a couple of exclusives. I'm gonna pause the video real quick. And then we're gonna check this out real quick. I gotta open this up. I'm opening all this stuff up. All right. Alright, like I said, we're going to open everybody up, check everybody out. And we got these gorgeous cars nice and pulled now. And then we got the final one to get this big old semi out. And the Mustang, it should be inside of there. Alright, let's get it here. Let's open these bad boys up. Here is the trailer. Ooh, that is some weight on that thing. Dang, that's heavy. That's super heavy, okay? Let me tell you that. That is super heavy. And then what we got in here, that's the truck. That good old semi. Oh, does that move open? No way. That opens up some type of way. Maybe. I'm about to check it out. Dang, that's a good looking truck right there. For sure, for sure. And of course we got the Mustang GT 500 SEY. But let's get this open. So in a sad attempt to figure out how this thing works going up and down, this thing just falls off with no real nothing. Seems to not have any sort of hook or spring on it whatsoever to keep it in place. I don't know if it's supposed to be glued to the back of this or what. Maybe it is supposed to be glued to the back of this, I'm guessing. So that's going to be glued back in place. And then one of the feet fell off as well, so I'm about to glue that back in place. So I guess that's how it's supposed to go. These arms go in here. You have the 2 stories of lifting capacity here. Guess that one you have the ramps. I guess they do fold down, but with the springs, how they're set up, essentially a car could not roll up that because the hinges are on the top and not underneath, so it kind of makes it not actually functional. Granted, even you went to Hot Wheels Team Transport, right? The cars aren't perfect, but cars supposed to essentially roll down here, right? Put the other ramp on just to make it look. Cars supposed to roll down there and go up on said ramp. Kind of, sort of. Maybe back it in. Yeah, I guess it works. And you essentially lift it up to whatever level. It doesn't really hold it in place either, so to take a good picture, you wouldn't even be able to get a photo. Well, I guess if I pull this out a little bit, it does come out, so maybe I try to balance it on it. See if I can set this up. So I've attempted to play with it, attempted to bring this rake out and maybe try to use this as a lip, and it would sit this on top of it with this rake. I've tried to play with this, not working. This just completely comes out. Okay, that's the second story inside of there. Okay, if you can see, pretty deep, supposed to be up to 6 cars, but yeah, it's kind of not functional. You maybe want that, these, but it's really not a thing. Luckily I got some super glue, so I'll glue this back on, and I'll glue the door. I guess that goes back onto the base here when it folds in, but I'm a little disappointed. This is really flimsy and cheap plastic, whereas this whole thing is all nice and die cast and laid out, and then they go cheap on the door. They really could have. I think this is a ball drop for sure here. Can you really fit 6 cars on here? Just test it out lengthwise. And I guess I can see if I got anything regular up here. Maybe I'll squeeze a Civic. I guess you get just about 6 cars in there. Be tight. You get 6 in there, but yeah, okay, whatever. Not done with this video, so that's what it is. Kind of disappointing. Sounds really weird rolling too. Is that weird? Oh, that's when I'm backing up. Okay, but yeah, that's that. Just stick that back inside there, and we'll fix this in a little bit. We'll just leave this out. So we do have the Mustang, of course. We got the Julia here. We got this to compete with the Hot Wheels, and I already see a bad wheel as it rolls towards me. Y'all see that left wheel? Look, but it rolls like butter though. Just got a curve to it. But it looks really good. I ain't gonna lie. Looks real good. And then of course we got my favorites here, these cars. Oh, they all are quiet rollers too. It's a Cadillac. Ooh, have a squeal. Yeah, this kind of will go with my other one, which is the Acura here. Okay, so now I got 3 of these bad boys. I got these. Let's see what these Hot Wheels look like next to them. Now for you to take a quick glance, quick gander, you can barely tell the difference. I remember that your Hot Wheels really stepped their game up with their cars here. Looking very comparable. Very much comparable, honestly. The details are there. They just got these wheels. They've done a little bit extra with the wheels here. Some little fine night details there on the wheels. I can't get it to focus. But looking very comparable. But they obviously are going to all beat these. Let's pull these out real quick. You can obviously see the massive difference when you go from the $1 Hot Wheels cars in the 5-pack and you step up to the more detailed ones. I think these were $6.99 a piece. I said the Mini GT, it's the first time Hot Wheels Mini GT is looking of the same. I mean, it's hard to tell apart, folks. You got a little more color detail on these wheel pieces right here, so you can see that. But then, they're losing with that wobbly left wheel, boy. They're losing with that. That's a big issue to me. They got some rear details a little more. They added a little brake light. So that's on there. Hot Wheels doesn't have, it has the space, but it's not colored in. But like I say, you can see the difference of $1 cars. You can see the big difference. But the Hot Wheels versus the Mini GT, looking rather close. It's on par with each other for sure. On par with each other for sure. Then I got my 3 back here. Obviously these are great and the Hot Wheels are not there yet until they drop a premium in this style of this version of cars. I mean, so you got 1-in-1 would be the Cadillac here. It's not even, what are we talking about? It's not even comparable here. But also we got a $1 car versus, a $15 car. So it's to be expected. To be expected. Well, yeah. I'd say we got some stuff going on. I got some stuff going on. Put these all over here. We got this new $1 car that came out, which is much bigger. It has a little bit more detail than the Cadillac for sure. But they're not on class. And again, these ones. My last little feature is going to be this wiper here to go compete with the bigger scales of the Hot Wheels. So let's take this off real quick and glance at that. Now we're going to compare these two side by side. They both look amazing. Amazing models for sure. Roll good as well. Great details on both cars. They don't have painted underbodies. You got the little exhaust tip there versus the Hot Wheels does give you some painted underbodies and some details. So that is nice right there. And then Hot Wheels is clearly polishing their bottoms in full detail versus this one. Definitely appears to be metal for sure. Some of Diecast, I should say. You get some suspension details and whatnot in there, so definitely fitting. No opening parts either. So similar to the Hot Wheels from this brand again. Just showing this is a Mini Champs brand right there. You can see 143 stamped on the bottom, 1993. Great cars, great details on both of them. Honestly, when I give the Hot Wheels the edge. Let me see, we got interior. Put the light on, see we got some color in the interior. A little bit of color in there. It's mostly gray and black. Instrument panels. Hot Wheels got some color to the seats. You got some details in there. The dash, though, is plain. Center console, no shifter knob. I'm not sure. I think these probably have paddle shifters for this new model. I haven't seen it in person. A little bit of silver on the center console. So nothing too crazy. Trunk space, backseat. This one has some dash components there. See through the front. So you got some color there. Hot Wheels, not so much. It's all black. So they're kind of winning in interior because there's some color variations versus this one doesn't. But they do got the painted seats though. So, pick your poison. The mirrors on the Hot Wheels are just painted versus this one looks like they actually just put a piece of plastic glass. It kind of seems like it's reflecting, but it's just a piece of plastic. But overall, really good. Who would I pick? I'm a Viper lover. Anybody knows me knows this is one of my dream cars. It's in great shape too, but it has some issues with the wheels rolling. You see it gets a little stiff. It actually hit the brakes. Rolling backwards, whereas the Hot Wheels is smooth as butter forward and backwards. So for a car that's probably 10 or 20 years old, got a couple quality issues, but all in all good. But this is my pickup today. Again, this is at TJ's. Get the car out again, give them a shout out because they hooked me up. A little disappointing in this Shelby trailer, but we're gonna glue that thing up and fix it. But this is where I went and picked up these vehicles today. You see the address. This is here in Ashburn. Okay. That's where I'm at. Ashburn, Virginia. However you call them. Get some information. Lovely, lovely, lovely. So thank you again, Mr. J2 Cool Cars on all platforms. Thank y'all again for checking me out. Okay. You know what you think of the video? I made a really long video because, I just had to make me a really long video. I'm going to get these glued up. So I got some super glue in here. Fix that and I'll be on my way. Thank you. Like, comment, subscribe, and take care.